Good Tuesday morning. Thank you so much for joining us for this King 5 First Alert weather live stream. I'm meteorologist Ashley Ruiz. It is Tuesday, July 21st. Today and Wednesday are First Alert weather days due to the hot daytime temperatures. We're very warm and uncomfortable overnight, and there are some elevated wildfire concerns. And you may have noticed that we have some smoke haze moving in. This is going to be most impactful to our north and eastern Washington. So let's dive right into it. Heat advisory is in place. That's starting later this morning, 10 a.m. actually, all the way through tomorrow evening. This is why we're under first alert. And I also wanted to show you our current conditions out there. We're already in the low and mid 70s, and it's only 9:30 in the morning. The exception is closer to the water. Before we dive into all the details, just to give you an overview, I wanted to show you what the 7-day is looking like. So again, today, tomorrow, we have widespread 80s and 90s, very warm overnight temperatures. And then Thursday, we're cooler. The question is just how much cooler. We have a very interesting weather pattern setting up then, which I'll break it all down for you coming up a little later. But you see, relief is headed our way. We just have to get through the next couple of days. Let's talk about that heat advisory. You see it covers pretty much all of the interior areas except for the southwestern portion, southwest interior, as well as the immediate beaches. But this includes all of Puget Sound, the Cascade foothills, and valleys. And this is why temperatures today well into the 80s. Even the island's going to be really, really warm. And then interior areas low and mid 90s for Puget Sound and the Cascade foothills and valleys. But the coast, once again, going to be cooler. If you head east of the Cascades, 90s and triple digits. Overnight lows in the 60s. But the thing is, even though you're seeing 62 in Olympia or 66 in Seattle, it's still going to be very warm, very uncomfortable. Most of our night in Seattle, we were in the 70s. And so not until about 4 a.m. or so did SeaTac drop to about 68. So we have that urban heat island in full effect. So all of this daylight we have, all of this heat, our buildings, the concrete, and just with the lack of a lot of vegetation in our city areas, it just takes a very long time for us to cool because all of our buildings and just the urbanized areas absorb all that heat, and it's hard for us to cool down. Before we heat right back up as we head to Wednesday, very similar, and some of you could even be a couple of degrees hotter tomorrow, mid 80s up north, and then low and mid 90s for Puget Sound. I wouldn't be surprised to see some of the Cascade foothills and valleys warming up into the upper 90s. So that is going to be something we're watching out for very, very carefully. So these conditions, as you well know, can and will be dangerous if you do not take proper precautions to beat the heat, because a lot of people do not have air conditioning in their homes, and it can creep up on you quickly. And a lot of people may use alternate ways to stay cool, including just opening your windows. But again, it's going to take a lot for your houses to cool down. So we wanted to share some safety tips to beat the heat. So what you want to do, drink plenty of fluids, of course, skip the alcohol, dress smart, wear loose and light colored clothing, don't forget your sunscreen, especially if you're going to work outside, and maybe even if you're going to the Mariners game, which I'll have that forecast for you coming up. But know the warning signs of heat-related illnesses: nausea, headaches, dizziness, fast or weak pulse. You see some of those there. That could be a heat illness. But when it becomes an emergency, you need to make sure you take proper precautions. But if you see any of those symptoms there and you know someone who has those symptoms, you need to get out of the sun and cool off immediately. If someone stops sweating, that is a medical emergency. Their body temperatures can climb past 106 degrees, or if someone passes out, again, that's an emergency and you want to call 911 immediately. And don't forget, your animals could also get heat stroke as well, so please don't forget about them. Now, we do have a lot to talk about, including the smoke. A lot of people are wondering, if we're going to have any air quality issues. I mentioned we'll have some drops in air quality, and you may have noticed some smoke in the sky this morning. We had vibrant sunrises the past 2 days, but especially today. So I wanted to take you to show you some of the wildfire smoke right now. This is the visible satellite, and what you're looking at, especially say closer here, I'll point it to you. So all of that is wildfire smoke. You see how it's just kind of a milky color instead of, say, you see the clouds here on the visible satellite. Those are just clouds, whereas the east of the Cascades, that's where we have that very thick wildfire smoke, as well as you see looking at the Cascades a little bit there as well. So milky colored skies, that's telling us the story of what's happening. Let's take you to Granite Falls, and you just see how hazy it is, and especially the closer you get to the Cascades, it's going to be smoky. Looking toward the east side and the Cascades, you see how thick that wildfire smoke is. You can't even really see the Cascades, so that's going to be something to keep in mind if you are headed out hiking today. You don't have to just worry about the heat, but likely some air quality drops as well. Tacoma, you see how the sun is trying to beam through the haze, the smoke aloft, as well as some of the clouds. We can't see Mount Rainier, so that just goes to show how hazy it is outside. Let's take you up to Paradise. It's a little hazy there, and a lot of people are already lining up to go hiking or maybe camping. Let's talk about the smoke. So this is a look at the near surface conditions. When you see the reds and oranges, that's indicating some thicker wildfire smoke, but you see more of the purples and reds. That's more over eastern Washington. But we have some of that lower elevation or the near surface conditions, the smoke reaching some of the Cascade foothills, especially from about Skagit and Whatcom County. So we're going to have to watch that very, very carefully. Just prepare and know that the worst of it will likely be the closer you are to the Cascades and east of that. This is in the upper atmosphere, so most of the wildfire smoke is expected to stay aloft, up in the sky. That's why we have those hazy skies, the milky colored skies, but some of it could mix down to the surface. And so as of right now, so again, if you are watching this is around 9:30 in the morning, you see all of those yellow dots. We have moderate air quality from about Olympia all the way up to Seattle. Some other spots, some of your local Air Now sensors are maybe even reading worse than that. But you see as a whole, air quality is in that moderate range. Where you're looking at the gray color, that's that air quality alert in place. I'm zooming in just so you can see. So again, that's Skagit and Whatcom counties, including the lowlands and the Cascades, and for Okanagan County as well. Here's a look at the forecast. This has changed since this morning. I'm not surprised whatsoever. Originally, the forecast for Seattle was showing good. It's going to be hot and hazy regardless. So we'll have at least some moderate air quality, but where you're looking at the north, where that air quality alert's in place, that is unhealthy for sensitive groups. And so that's where the worst of it is expected to be, as well as our Wednesday as well. But then we'll start to get a push of onshore winds, which should help clear out some of that wildfire smoke. But here's a look, once again, near surface conditions, not just aloft, but near the surface. Later this evening, you see how maybe along the I-5 corridor, we could get some thicker wildfire smoke as we start to heat up, but we're not expecting any significant impacts as of right now, but that could certainly change. It's just kind of something we're monitoring carefully. And then into Thursday, as we start to get that push of onshore winds again, that should help push at least some of it out of here. So again, we are under first alert weather mode today and tomorrow, and I'm going to have a lot more details on what we can expect after that.